It's a very fascinating thing to see how the same events are interpreted in very different ways in different communities. How diametrically opposite can interpretations of the same political event, for instance, or other event, or scientific facts such as climate change, be in different communities. And I think the main culprit for that are these homogenization, the echo chambers that we have. Because like in the real world, like in many situations, the way we decide what is reasonable to believe, what is a good course of action, we oftentimes decide that by looking at other people around us. And we follow the example of people that we cherish, that we consider to be authorities on a certain, that we consider to be experts, or that we consider to have similar interests as us. And this is, in 99% of cases, this is a good way to choose your beliefs and to choose your behaviors, because if you observe people around you in your particular environment, chances are that these people are also in a way found solutions that in your particular geographical area work, and also it enables you to fit with your group, which is very important to people. People are very social, so by fitting in your group, you'll have better, not only psychological outcomes, but better chances to find a mate, have higher fitness overall. So all of this is good. But then it backfires when in these very isolated online communities, there is only one opinion that's prevalent, and where sources from outside of the group are disparaged, and when occasionally a belief that is not scientific or that's even harmful in the long term for the group takes hold, but there is no one to oppose it. And people are using the same heuristic they're using in all of their life. They're following people who they trust, who seem to have similar interests, who they like, who they perceive experts. But now these are only confined to their own group. And when the belief is potentially harmful, then it can be dangerous. And I don't have a solution for this, but it seems that it all comes back to we really as a society need to learn how to promote diversity of ideas. And we see that kind of homogeneity and inability to accept scientifically valid ideas at all levels of political spectrum, all sides of political spectrum. We see it in people who are opposing, for instance, genetically modified organisms, which in most cases, most scientists agree that they do not have adverse consequences for health, that they could help curb the food crisis. But, or for instance, the example of vaccination, where all scientists will agree that vaccination is good and that people should do that. But in certain communities, which are maybe more on the left part of the spectrum, you have strong belief that the scientific facts are not true, that there is something hidden, and there is a tendency to follow local experts that are cherished in that community. At the same time, on some other parts of the spectrum, maybe on the right side, you have skepticism towards the whole idea of global warming, climate change, and what we as a society should do about this. So these are some kind of problems. These are problems for the society where these bubbles form and where people are following perfectly okay rules. But in this particular social environment that's so homogeneous, this can sometimes backfire. Conformism, or the tendency to follow majority, can help human societies to both learn good ideas, but also to propagate any kind of idea. Basically, even bad ideas can spread by the same mechanisms that most of the time spread good ideas. So for us as a society, in these circumstances where conformism can become very strong because everybody is very similar to us, it can happen that some very bad ideas take hold of large parts of the population, and that we just make a mistake that might cost lives or might put us back, years back. For instance, if everybody stops vaccinating their children, or if the society doesn't do anything about climate change, this can have dire consequences.